Every headline tells a story. But what if the story you've been hearing about Israel isn't the truth?
Israel is the only country I know of that has some sort of incredible influence and control over nearly every single one of my colleagues.
I will be grossed out if somebody goes on a trip to Israel.
Christian Zionists, like, what is that?
Right.
And I could just say for myself, I dislike them more than anybody.
It's biblical levels of evil.
It's biblical levels of evil if he's talking about Hamas, not Israel. These guys are off the wall.
Welcome to InGrace. We are going to today do a very special program where we're going to counteract the spiritual war against Israel. I am so frustrated when I hear people like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and others that are giving lies about Israel. And so I want to clear the air and speak the truth about this important topic. How should we, as Bible-believing Christians, understand the modern state of Israel? Are they of God, or is this just a man-devised nation? Well, you're going to need to stay tuned today to watch me react to a number of people that I believe are speaking untruths and outright lies. Let's begin with recent comments from Candace Owens that many have called anti-Semitic and explain why her ideas are both dangerous and unbiblical.
I don't care who it is that is invested in Israel. Like I will be grossed out if somebody goes on a trip to Israel.
I go on trips to Israel all the time. And I'm glad she's grossed out at me. I don't even know her, but I'm grossed out at her for what she's saying right now.
Like I'm at that point where I'm like, you know, a genocide is happening on the other side of the border. You are watching this and you know that all of this is made up.
It's not.
Because of a bunch of powerful people decide to make this a nation. So they had to
true.
justify that by being like, oh, this is the home of the Jews. And there's actually no biblical argument.
Yes, there is.
There's no research that supports that claim.
Tons of it.
Nothing. In fact, there's very much research to the contrary.
Not true.
I also appreciate this headline, Times of Israel. Netanyahu, if we wanted to commit genocide, it would have taken exactly one afternoon. We could have just killed them all in one afternoon. We didn't do that, which proves that it's not a genocide. No, what it proves is that you were trying to do this as you've always done it, which is deceptively, right? False flag. It's just a response.
So when she says false flag, is she saying Hamas didn't really come in and kill hundreds of women and children and babies and rape and all of that stuff? Is that what she's saying? This was Israel that did this? So this is 100% wrong. We know that in real life. She's wrong on this. And if she's suggesting it, she is a demonic anti-Semite. Don't listen to her. Don't give her any more bandwidth because she's off the rails and she's spewing what Satan wants to spew. The devil hates God. The devil hates God's earthly people, the people of Israel.
There's been a near blackout on the topic of what you've been doing to the children. You didn't prepare for independent voices to have a platform. That's what you didn't do. And that is why, despite the fact that you likely planned this for years, I see evidence that you guys planned this for years. You decided that, okay, we're going to slow play this and hope that nobody notices. And now,
nobody's going to notice. Everybody notices Israel.
And like I said, I hope nobody supports Israel ever again.
And independent voices are good. Believe me, they are good. But this is wrong when she can just say whatever she wants to say, and it is contrary to fact and to truth, and it creates this bubbling, this boiling up of anti-Semitism. People are going to react to the words she says to hurt Jewish people. I will stand in the path of anyone trying to hurt a Jewish person.
If you're a human being, I hope you never support this nation in any capacity. And you look at everybody sideways who does.
Candace, let's look at you sideways. And I hope that you will understand the errors of your ways, that you will do a little more research, and that you will stop lying about Israel and the Jewish people.
Next, I react to an interview between Megyn Kelly and Marjorie Taylor Greene as they discuss invitations from pro-Israel lobby groups and the growing political tensions surrounding support for Israel in America.
This audience knows, and I know where you stand too on Israel and all that, but I have had multiple reach outs to me both from friends and from connected people in D.C., begging me to go to Israel with them.
Okay. I'm going to pause right there. Megyn, and I think Marjorie also, they're kind of saying that being invited to Israel isn't a good thing. All these people are inviting them to Israel. And I'll just tell you this, Megyn and Marjorie, you will get it when you go to Israel. That, to me, is the reason they want you to go, is because once you go, you get it. Israel is fighting to survive, and we should support Israel for lots of reasons. The first is a biblical reason, but there's other reasons too. As a country, a powerful country, Israel really does help us. They are so important to us with counterintelligence. They are helping us stop terrorism in the United States all the time. We don't have the reliable partners in Europe or the Arab states that we do in Israel. Also, Israel is really important to the United States for R&D with weapons. They're learning all sorts of things in these different conflicts. Iran hates the United States, and Megyn mentioned Iran, how we're getting involved. Iran is a huge enemy of the United States, and if we hadn't gone in and tried to stop their nuclear capability, do you think they would have stopped at shooting at Israel? No, they would have shot at us. So it's wise for us to support Israel, to invest in Israel, to protect us too. I really believe in that. So we'll talk more about that in a second.
And I fully agree with you, Megyn. We are not against Israel. We are all for their right to defend themselves, just as we are for any Jewish person on campus. Just as I think we could talk about young white males in high school that are constantly getting beat up.
Yeah.
Guess what? They should have a right to defend themselves too, and people should stand up for them as well. We think anybody that is a victim should be able to defend themselves. However, Israel is the only country I know of that has some sort of incredible influence and control over nearly every single one of my colleagues.
Okay, so she's saying all of her colleagues are under control of Israel. Now, listen, I am thankful that so many people in our government are pro-Israel. I'm actually a little surprised. I'm thankful. I believe it's because we know the Bible. I think it's because we know what the Bible says that we should support Israel. It's not like any other country. It's a unique place. So I'm glad that what she's saying is true. I'm a little surprised by it, but I'm happy.
The world is told a story about Israel. Genocide, oppressor, colonizer.
As Christians, we need to know what God says about Israel. I recommend getting this book, The Spiritual War Against Israel.
In Jim Scudder's brand new book, you'll uncover God's eternal covenant with Israel, the shocking danger of replacement theology, the miracle of Israel's rebirth, and the truth about the Holocaust. This is spiritual warfare. Get this book for your gift to InGrace. Call 800-78-GRACE or visit ingrace.tv for more information.
Next, I respond to the idea that supporting Israel is somehow impossible to rationalize. Joe Rogan and Dave Smith also say that the U.S. bows down to Israel, which doesn't align with reality.
They just launched another offensive on Gaza City the other day. They're bombing rubble. It's biblical levels of evil.
It's biblical levels of evil if he's talking about Hamas, not Israel. These guys are off the wall.
The idea that it's just accepted as normal that the politicians for your country must worship this other country. And you're like, so what, did that other country like beat us in a war and they're occupying us now? And you're like, no, you're the superpower. They're your welfare country, you know? But yet you must go kiss their wall. You must say, Tammy Bruce from the State Department. Literally just, and I know she was kind of being tongue in cheek, but where she goes, we're the greatest country in the world. Well, second greatest to Israel.
Okay. I didn't hear Tammy Bruce say that, but I'll just tell you this. I think America is the most amazing country in the entire world in human history, except for Israel. Why is Israel so different than any other ally? He's going to bring up, I think, Finland. Like, why aren't we so in lockstep with Finland? Why is Israel so important to us? And there's two reasons. Number one, the biblical reason is that God in the Bible said there's going to be a redeemer coming through a certain lineage, and the lineage was Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And
that has happened. The Messiah has come through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. His name is Yeshua, Jesus, Joshua. He came, he lived, he fulfilled the law, he was perfect, but he died, he rose again, and he'll save anybody who will simply believe. Dave Smith, Joe Rogan, whoever, if we'll simply put our trust in him. So it's different than any other nation because it has biblical implications. And we've recognized that. Now, people that don't believe in the Bible or they're just secular, worldly people, they're not going to get that piece, but that's an important piece. And we are a Christian nation with a lot of Jewish people in our history too. And so it's within our fabric of our DNA that's why we love Israel and support Israel, is because of the biblical reason, the historical reasons. But also, I want to tell Dave and Joe that it's also because supporting Israel as an ally does help us stay safer. And we've talked about in the last videos, I won't get into that more now, but it is to our interest to support Israel in the arena of Islamic terrorism, because there are many people that want to kill us. Israel helps protect us by intelligence and other things. Now, I want to shift to someone who frequently broadcasts anti-Semitic content, Tucker Carlson. On his podcast, he's hosted a wide range of guests, including many who oppose the state of Israel. Surprisingly, he interviewed a staunch supporter of Israel, Ambassador Mike Huckabee. And here's what was said in that exchange. The next question, the next area of concern that I have about this interview was Tucker's implications that the Jews in Israel today aren't really the Jews from the Bible. So the question is, who are the Jews? And this is a new lie. This lie actually started around the time that Israel returned to the land and became a nation. It's only about 50 years old, where people have been saying, well, they say they're Jews, but they're really not. Because once the Jews returned to the land, those like Augustine and Luther and others that said, well, they'll never return to the land because they've broken God's promises and the church has replaced Israel. But when they did return to the land, all of a sudden, okay, now what are we going to do? Well, the only thing that they can do now, the only thing they have left is, well, those that went back to Israel really aren't Jews. So how do we know? And Tucker proposed a DNA test. Well, Judaism isn't just ethnicity. They're a religion, they're a nation, they're a people group that has traceable records. You can trace the Jewish people from teacher to student, all the way back from today, all the way back to Moses.
Tucker, Christianity is growing in Israel.
Okay.
And there is a big lie that goes out there, but no, let me finish this, because I keep hearing that Christians are really not treated well in Israel. That's a lie.
Well, there are lots
it is a lie.
There are lots of different.
There were 34,000 Christians in Israel in 1948. There are 184,000 Christians here today.
And by Israel, what are you counting?
You talking about the land?
What territory are you counting? I'm counting about Israel proper? Are you counting
about Israel
the West
proper?
Bank as well and Gaza? I mean, what do you, when you say Israel, those numbers apply to what landmass?
It would be in Israel proper.
Okay.
There are 184,000. Now,
Christians are shrinking in some of the Palestinian-controlled areas, like Bethlehem, but it's not because of Israel. The Palestinians control those areas. The Palestinian Authority controls those areas. So the persecution is not from Israel. The shrinkage of Christianity in those areas are because of the corrupt leadership of the Palestinian Authority.
I'll tell you where Christians are not doing very well. They're not doing very well in the Muslim-controlled countries. There's almost no Christians in Qatar, for example, except those who live in the Christian ghetto, who are the service workers.
I'm sorry. Look, I don't want to argue with you. There are many more Christians in Qatar than there are in Israel.
That's not true.
It actually is true. And I refer you to Wikipedia, Mr. Ambassador.
Wikipedia.
I refer you to the government of Qatar, the government of Israel.
Huckabee wanted to criticize Wikipedia because, there are some good things on Wikipedia, but there's also some things that aren't true. So you can't just throw Wikipedia up as authoritative, I don't think.
These are knowable facts. Like I'm
in Jordan,
by the way,
numbers are down. In Syria, the numbers are down. In Lebanon, the numbers are down. I'm just telling you that
about twice as many Christians.
But they live in the enclave. They are not native Qataris.
They're not citizens.
Okay. We're mixing so many different categories here. I'm just saying I get things wrong all the time. You've just gotten something wrong, and I think it's important to acknowledge it. There are many more Christians in Qatar than there are in Israel. Fact.
How many?
Now you caught me.
I love this because this is what Tucker did to Ted Cruz. Where is the promise found in Genesis of the land to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? Caught him. And here, Ambassador Huckabee caught Tucker on this one. This was good.
Oh, no, I can look at my phone, but I was just there, and there are many more.
Kind of bumbling
whatever.
here. Christianity is protected in Israel. And I know plenty of Christians in Israel, and they're able to worship freely. I've done it. I've been there. But the same is not true of a lot of the other Muslim countries. So if you're going to criticize these other countries, don't criticize Israel on this. That tells me all I need to know about Tucker Carlson. It's sad to see where he's at today, and that's why it pains me to know that millions of people are listening to Tucker on X.
Finally, I want to end with a recent conversation on Tucker Carlson's podcast featuring guest Nick Fuentes. The interview is mind-boggling. It stirred a lot of controversy, especially around comments about Israel and the Jews. You'll be shocked when you hear what Nick said.
Well, this is a really long video, so we're obviously just going to cover a couple things. So here's another section that they were talking about Israel, and I'm going to react to what they have to say.
You're one of those people. One of the reasons I wanted to meet you is you're one of those people who is defined by clips.
Yes.
And I'm one of those people also.
Yes.
Right? So I get it.
Okay, they're defined by clips. Listen, if they said it, now I understand context. We do need to understand context, but some of the things that they're saying are so outrageous and inflammatory and false that a clip is all you need. And here's an example of this. This is Nick Fuentes talking about the Holocaust, but he's comparing it to baking cookies. How sick is this guy?
Max says if I take 1 hour to cook a batch of cookies and Cookie Monster has 15 ovens, working 24 hours a day, every day for 5 years, how long does it take Cookie Monster to make 6 million batches of cookies?
Okay, so obviously he's younger, but just the grin, he knows exactly what this is talking about. He knows exactly what the person is saying. So there's this conspiracy. The Holocaust is minimized. It wasn't as bad as 6 million Jews because the ovens couldn't have burned them fast enough. How sick is this guy that he would say this? And he's defined by clips. Well, if I said something like this, I better be canceled. I better not get any platforms. And Tucker, to have him, shows me Tucker's position on all of this stuff.
I don't know. That's a good question. Certainly. Oh, no.
To laugh, to think this is
really
something.
Sound correct to me. Wait a second.
He needs to go to Auschwitz. I've been to Auschwitz.
Cookies, and you have 15 ovens, probably in 4 different kitchens, right? Doing 24 hours a day, every day for 5 years. How long would it take you to make 6 million? I don't know. It certainly wouldn't be 5 years, right? The math doesn't seem to add up there. The math doesn't quite seem to add up there. I don't think you'd result in 6 million, maybe 200 to 300,000.
So there it is. Like, okay, so even like 2 to 300,000, oh, that's okay? Exterminating a people because they're Jewish? This is where they will lead you. And this is where these conspiracies will lead you if you let it. You should be furious about a guy like Nick Fuentes and Tucker. We're not saying that everything Israel does and will do and has done is good, but we're saying as a general rule, we need to support this miracle nation. And I believe that from many levels. One is it is important for us to cooperate with the democracy in the Middle East that has our back and can help us develop technology, defensive and offensive weapons, and share intelligence. I think it is America first to support Israel financially and all these other ways. But on the next level and the higher level and a more important level is that God has a special promise on that people and on that land, and that is still in play, and we need to support Israel as a nation. And if we do, I believe we're going to prosper. If we don't, we will be destroyed.
I'm thankful that we can get the record straight and make sure we all understand how we should be thinking about Israel. Why do I love Israel? Well, one of the main reasons is because Israel brought forth the Messiah, the Savior. For that, I will forever love the Jewish people and the nation of Israel. And they gave us the scriptures. And the Bible says that we've all sinned, we've all fallen away, we're all like sheep that have gone away, and the Lord has laid on him, the Messiah, according to Isaiah, the iniquity of us all. Jesus came exactly as predicted. Where he was born was predicted. All of these things. He came, he lived a perfect life, he did great, incredible miracles, he blessed so many people, yet he died as a sinner. He's not a sinner, but he died in our place. He rose again, and he invites anyone to simply put their trust in him and be saved from their sins. That is the good news. That is why, one of the reasons at least, we should support Israel and the Jewish people.
The world is told a story about Israel: genocide, oppressor, colonizer.
As Christians, we need to know what God says about Israel. I recommend getting this book, The Spiritual War Against Israel.
In Jim Scudder's brand new book, you'll uncover God's eternal covenant with Israel, the shocking danger of replacement theology, the miracle of Israel's rebirth, and the truth about the Holocaust. This is spiritual warfare. Get this book for your gift to InGrace. Call 800-78-GRACE or visit ingrace.tv for more information.
Join Jim Scudder Jr. and Andrew Phipps next week to answer the question, can you find God in Washington, D.C.?
This is one of the most beautiful memorials in all of Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
You know, our job is to educate, is to advocate, and also to participate. We've got to participate.
We have to.
We've got to do our duty. To do anything less, I think, would be sinful.
Record every single InGrace episode. You will be so blessed as we learn all about God's world and God's Word. InGrace is a viewer-supported ministry. Thank you for your prayers and gifts.